God of War is a huge story-driven game of epic proportions and a must for anybody who likes third-person adventure stories. And even if you didn't like the previous outings of this franchise, you definitely need to take a second look, as this is a different beast altogether for gameplay. From the start, characters are lovingly done and the acting is great. I had to warm to the son, but eventually I liked his role and place within the story, and it gave some really nice dynamics to Kratos that fleshed him out from the one-man mercenary we're all accustomed to. A talking head, a handful of Norse gods, and the dwarf blacksmith brothers all bring the world to life with their quirks. Where the game brings minimalist cast, they bring a hefty punch to the narrative. Once you start off, you're hit with the graphics and orchestral score, and as the beginning unfolds, the level of detail to the world you're about to explore begins to sink in, and slowly dawn on you on how much attention and effort has been poured into this game. It's the small details, from little animals running about and the way the light is used. The full range of colours are being implemented in this game at their disposal, and the enemies and the magical explosions all have a feel and the fitting with the tone of the mythical Nordic world. That is stunning in its own right between the different planes of existence. When you start, you have to be patient with the beginning. It's a slow burner and can be overwhelming to take everything in. It starts off by giving nothing away story-wise to what's happened to Kratos since his last outing, instead dumping you headfirst into a new story, leaving fans with plenty of immediate questions like, who is the kid? The story continues in this vein, giving you drip-fed reveals and twists that keeps things different and fun. If you're new to this franchise, you don't have to worry, it's just as good to come in now than any other game before it. The core to everything that is God of War is the combat, and it shines extremely bright. It's a slower and less button mashing affair. Fewer bad guys at once give the sense of more personal duels, and allows the balance of Kratos' son to shine as a non-playing combatant, who helps and not hinder the action unfolding. Various monsters need different styles to defeat, and a nice range of enemies keeps things from going stale. Magic abilities can be equipped to enhance your style, but though there is a wide range of magical attacks, you are limited to what you can equip and use at any given time. But it gives a sense of fun exploring what suits you for the style you like to play. A brief note is, the axe that you start off with is very great. Throwing it and having it returned to you gives you the very sense of power and godlike abilities that you would want in a game like this. Platinum Hunters can be very happy. The game can be done on easy, and there's only one trophy that was tricky, and that was dealing with the Valkyrie Queen, but she can be beaten. But for the more advanced gamer, you do want to play the story on medium or higher, because it gives you a sense of challenge and more connection with the story. Plus, the harder the challenge, the more intimate, and it's a different take with the story, as you need to think about your actions in combat. It's a credit to a game lovingly crafted when only minor faults can be found. Flowing from your two weapon sets may not register at times, which can ruin the flow of a combo. At points you can also get lost, as the directions can be a bit convoluted and the world not as forgiving when you're trying to figure things out. But the other side of things is, when you're finding secrets, it gives you an extra sense of achievement when you're finding the hidden areas that you come across, especially as they're so grand. The only other thing is, the big monsters are a bit repetitive and boss fights just weren't that great, and it just left me wanting a bit more, unfortunately. God of War for me is a 5 out of 5. Its scope is huge, and considering its predecessors before it and what it is to hold up to for the gaming bar for this franchise, it has smashed it, and it gives new life, all while introducing a new world and new characters that all feel within keeping to the nature of God of War, and that's no mean feat. This is a near perfect entry, and it must try at least for all PlayStation fans who like this kind of game and genre. Also, with how they've done this, they've left so much to do for a sequel, and that makes it very interesting, especially as you don't really see much of the other characters they allude to or who can be in this game. So there's a lot of excitement for what will come next.
What are you doing?
I have nothing more to hide.